Hi, welcome to your local general gaming goods, where you can get all your gaming news and opinions straight from your local farmer's market. Today we are going to discuss guilty pleasures, what we're playing, Fire Emblem, and Tetris Axis. My name is Shelby Saxton.
I'm Summer Castleman.
I'm Alicia Johnson.
And I'm Schuylar Hudson.
How can we help you today? How is everybody feeling today?
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. A committal good.
This time?
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
I believe it now.
Alicia.
I'm great.
I'll just all stare at her. Excited.
Hello. I'm doing swell today.
I am not. I'm sick, but I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Good.
Yeah. Let's open with a question today. This question comes from me. I thought it up on my own.
I hate you.
It's actually about guilty pleasures, and the question is, what is your guilty pleasure game?
Okay, you go first, or do I go
You want me to
first?
go first? I'll go
Well-
first because I can talk. I've been thinking about this all week. In fact, the way that I think up these questions,
Yeah, let's give them time.
I think about a game that I want to talk about, and then I come up with a question for it. And today I really wanted to talk about Destiny, because that game is not good. That game is time consuming. It is a huge it's a huge waste of time, and yet I've put almost 1,000 hours into it.
You, just a quick rule, you cannot take up the whole podcast, because I know you could do that real easy, so
It's true.
rein it in.
I could talk about Destiny forever, but I wanted to hear some of your other answers about guilty pleasure games. It's just
I can go first since I have a game ready.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I don't know if I'd count as a guilty pleasure. It's a bit of one, but it would have to be Sims 4, and that's because, I mean, a lot of people don't take the Sims game seriously, and they're kind of just a huge waste of time, but I love them. They're like crack cocaine to me. So anyway, so I want to talk about Sims 4. And what I want to say is, so I have almost all the expansions now that at least are out, and I really like it. And I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with this one because they didn't have pools at first, and they literally only just introduced toddlers this, like, I think maybe like 2 weeks ago or like a week and a half ago. But yes, Schuylar?
They introduced like before you just were a baby and then like a kid.
Yeah, you just went from being this tiny infant
I wish that happened in real life.
Right? Well, what was funny is, so I played Sims 2 a lot, and I played Sims 3 a tiny bit, but I didn't really like it. And I know everyone else did, so whoops. Anyway, but I played Sims 2 a lot.
Whoops, my opinion differs.
Oh no, I'll die later. Anyway, but in Sims 2, toddlers are probably the most irritating part of the game. I hated them. I was like openly considered all the time. I was like, I think it would be okay if this toddler died. Only in Sims 2. not in reality.
Summer. Whoa.
Summer Castleman,
Okay.
masochist.
Chill out a little bit. Anyway, but so they're so annoying. They're very needy. They sleep for like literal 3 minutes, and then they wake up and start shaking on their crib and just crying really loudly. Anyway, but I was annoyed that they weren't in Sims 4 because, like, as annoying as they are, that is a step in life. You don't go
True.
from baby to 10-year-old.
Sims is very realistic, so for them to remove
True.
just toddlers was
Exactly.
insane.
They broke the realism.
So, did you guys ever play The Sims on the Wii? Like, the Wii
No.
version?
There was a Sims for the
There
Wii?
was. Okay,
Oh,
listen.
God.
I didn't have a guilty pleasure game, but I think this is it.
We
I didn't
did
have
it.
one planned, but I think this is the one. It was way. I've never played the original Sims games. I should, but the Wii version was so. It wasn't that great. I'll be honest, but again, I loved it, and you had to like go help your town and like get elements. I think that's what they were called.
Oh, really?
And
Wait.
then,
Was this the one that's called My Sims, where it's a little tiny, like
you're like this little.
you're like a chibi version?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe. I
Was
think
it
it's the
also
same one.
mobile?
No,
it was just
Okay.
on the
it was a
Wii.
Wii. There's like a
And,
bunch of iterations
You would
of it.
go build your neighbor's furniture. And that was like the whole thing of
What?
the game. Yeah, I'm not joking.
You know how life works.
I am not kidding.
Okay, wait.
Yes. First of all, you're a baby, and then a kid, and then an adult, and then you build your neighbor's
Chibi.
furniture.
Don't forget, you're a chibi baby, then adult. And
There you go.
it's
Okay.
normal.
I feel like I'm going to actually be the only one who understands this, including anyone that listens,
Yeah.
because I remember being obsessed with wanting those games and never having them. But there's a bunch of iterations. There's My Sims, My Sims 2.
Okay.
There is one called My Sims Agents, where you're a secret agent.
I played that one too. That was on like, I think the 3D.
No,
the
it's
DS.
on the Wii. It's
Is
on the
it?
Wii. Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
no.
And it's they're, I can't like, I can't believe
I
you
thought
know what
My
those
Sims-
are.
I know what those. I still have it.
You still have
I
it.
still play it sometimes.
You got to bring that
I'm
over.
not joking.
That's so cool.
It was pretty good. Like, I feel like the game mechanics itself sucked, but
I
the
bet
game.
they didn't. I bet they were pretty good.
I,
If you
No.
probably not.
Building the furniture was hard because it was like with the Wii remote and to like
Oh, no.
switch to like switch the furniture pieces because you literally had to build them from wooden blocks that they gave you, and then you would have to build the furniture.
And this was before the like Wii Motion Plus was introduced.
And so
Oh,
you just had to like
no.
switch it with your like wrist, and it was so hard. But it was fun because once you built your neighbor's furniture, your town's rating would go up,
Oh, I love that.
and you could just get like new neighbors would move in as your rating went up, and you could get like this little Italian chef, and like it was so
She
good.
specifically remembers
I
the
remember
Italian
the
chef.
Italian chef.
I bet I'd spend a
You
good
could
good
go
long hours
eat
playing that
spaghetti.
game.
So,
Yeah.
it was good.
Always a bonus if you get to eat spaghetti. Any game could be enhanced if there was just a part where you got to eat
Yes.
spaghetti.
Oh,
I'm
God.
just saying.
I,
So yeah,
I'm witness
so
to
Sims
that.
4. That's it.
Sims
My
4,
guilty
My
pleasures.
Sims.
And then-
Yep.
My Sims
Yep.
for the Wii.
Okay, so mine's kind of tied between Left 4 Dead
Mm.
and because it's so good,
Yeah.
and I've spent hours, and Link's crossbow training.
Oh,
Oh.
challenge. That's the one.
Yes.
No, because Left 4 Dead is actually
That one.
good.
Wait, was it Link's crossbow?
no, it was Link's crossbow training. I
Okay,
definitely know what
okay,
you're talking
definitely,
about.
okay.
I had that one
And
too.
so it was like you bought the like gun holster that like you'd put the Wiimote and the nunchuck clipped into it, and then you could hold it, and it felt like you were
Oh, yeah.
quote unquote felt like you were like holding a rifle.
I have no idea what
And-
you're talking
oh my God,
about.
it was
It
amazing.
looked like a crossbow that you like
That's-
hooked your
Yeah,
Wii remote into.
And so it was
That's so
for
cool.
Twilight Princess, so you would go through like mini versions of the Twilight Princess temples and locations, and you would just have it, and you'd have to just point it and like shoot all of the like
Like
enemies.
you were
Yeah.
training for using a crossbow.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
I've heard of it, but I
it
didn't know
was
about that.
it was the most fun thing that I've played in my whole life.
Yeah.
And it definitely was just like a disc that like just it wasn't like a game. It was like this little disc that came with the accessory. Like it was
Right.
definitely just made to get you introduced to the accessory so you could get the like use the accessory for real games.
Yeah.
But I was like, no. I will strictly play Link's crossbow
That was your jam.
only.
Oh my gosh. I
For-
can't.
Weeks.
So good.
Was it
Like,
the only game
I beat
besides
it-
Wii Sports you had?
Probably.
Wow.
No, we had one that my dad bought the accessory for. It was like some like probably Tom Clancy's ripoff Wii
Oh yeah.
type
for sure.
thing, and it was
Nice.
awful.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Yeah.
Link's crossbow, way better. So I played that for probably weeks, like over and over and over, just because it was so fun. And it was so
Did you get
like,
really good?
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure if you put a real crossbow in my hand right now, everyone would
I
die.
don't think that's how that works.
No, it is.
I
Okay.
hope that's how it works.
Listen, I played guns on the video games, and then I shot guns in real life, and I did pretty good.
But did
True.
the video games help you, do you think?
Yeah.
It's
Um,
apparently
Like
there's-
Call of
studied.
Duty,
There is a
like-
Studied.
correlation, but
Could
no
you
proof.
headshot
Yeah.
someone 360 no scope?
Absolutely.
I can't do that.
I can.
I can't do that in a video game. So probably.
Well, then
Yeah,
you gotta
no,
get
I
practice.
So yeah, probably in real life. though. For
Probably.
Good.
When was the last time you played any of these games? Any of you?
Oh, I
play
played,
any of these
I
games?
played Sims 4 literally the other day. Like,
Earlier today.
no,
That's
not
what-
today,
like-
but
no, I imagine there was an asterisk at the end of that word, and it just said earlier today.
Yeah. No, but I played because the toddler thing came out, and it was a big trial because our internet is really bad, and I couldn't even download the patch. So I had to use my phone's data. So I don't have any data now because I desperately wanted toddlers, even though they were my
Wait,
least favorite part of the game.
Your phone's data is better than your home internet?
I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it right now. We're getting a technician tomorrow.
Anyway,
Speaking of
Shelby's
games that we're
turn.
playing this week, here's our next little thing. It's called What You Playing. and we're going to talk about games that we've been playing this week. This is part of the show where we talk about what games we've been playing this week and recommend games for you, the listener, to play. Anybody want to start?
Didn't sound like it.
Alicia, tell them what we've been playing.
Okay, so Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. We're actually 100% going through the game, following a guide. I know most of it from memory because I've played it like 6-ish times. A lot. I've played it a lot.
So, for those of you who don't know what, 100%ing, it's a verb now.
Completing.
I made it a
completing.
verb.
So what you do is you play through a game and you get every item, you do every side quest, you 100% play the game to its fullest extent. And it's usually really difficult just because you don't know all of the side things, so that's why we're using the guide.
I say some
Alicia's
of them are
done
like
it.
Easter eggs.
Yeah,
Like
and
a
so- yeah.
secret.
And I'm having such a ball. I played Wind Waker, I never got to play it on the GameCube, but when my brother had a Wii U, I started playing it, and then we did not live together anymore, and so I was unable to finish it, so I'm finally getting to play it again. And the pictograph, the little camera, combined with the tingle bottles, greatest invention Nintendo has ever thought of. And tingle bottle...
Yeah, what's a tingle bottle?
I knew what the
Okay,
pictograph
so
was. I don't know what the tingle
They
bottle
weren't
is.
in the original game. So
Okay.
Tingle in the original game.
Oh,
gave you
wait.
this-
I know it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
what
he
this is.
gave you this weird, a tingle turner, I think is what it was called,
Mhm.
and you could plug in your Game Boy to the GameCube
And play-
I think you found statues.
It
of
was
him.
Minish Cap. You could connect Minish Cap
Is
to
that
the
what
GameCube
it was?
version.
I can't remember.
If someone fact check that, but that's the only one that I know came out on
My
the
fact-checking
Game Boy
tingle turners.
for the Game Boy only.
Right, and it's
So that's what I would imagine.
I never had it.
Yeah.
The Game Boy connector thing to the GameCube, so it didn't work out for me. But in the new one, the HD one, he gives you the what does he give?
He gives you a tingle bottle
Okay, yeah. So he basically gives you the ability
to connect
yes.
to the Miiverse. And what you can do is you can write notes and just submit them to the internet, or you can send your pictures, and you can take selfies.
with the picture box now.
Yeah,
Which is
and
good.
so you can send them out to the world, and while you're playing the game, like while you're sailing or you're on the beach, they'll just be these little sparkling bottles, and you run through and you'll just pick them up, and you can just look at them. Just look at these drawings, these things. What was the one that was way funny? That was, he was talking about, like, he spent, like, way too long on this boss because he kept trying to do one thing.
No,
Like,
it was to
so
get it was
funny.
to get into the little because another edition was I think the figurines thing, and at the Forsaken, not the forest I can't remember what it's called, but the forest island, you had to hit this switch and it would come up, and I can't remember what you're supposed to use. I think it's the boomerang or something, but she tried to use the hoy pear and get the seagull to eat the pear, and then once the seagull eats the pear, you become the seagull. And then you can, like, fly around and stuff.
Right.
And they try to hit it with the seagull. And if I remember correctly, that's also how I did it. So I'm not sure how you're supposed to do it, but it takes a really long time and it takes a lot of skill.
But they just, like, took a selfie and made Link's face just look 300%
So good.
done.
Yeah.
And just wrote, like, because you can't swear in the Miiverse.
Yeah.
So they wrote, like, with their hand, like, I just spent, like, 10 minutes working on this stupid-ass mini-game. Like, it was so
It was
funny.
so
Gosh.
good.
That
And
is really good. It looks like it doesn't connect to Minish Cap. It looks like it just connects to the Game Boy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it says, you take control of Tingle, is what happens with the Tingle Tuner, is what it is. And it says, the player will find a map of the current area on their screen, which includes, amongst other things, a marker indicating Link's positions. And so, yeah, you just play as Tingle.
Honestly, it sounds to me like the Tingle bottle way better.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
I literally, I know I've talked about it 2 times, but I cannot get over the Link selfies.
Yeah.
And Alicia knows because literally every character in that game on Outset
We'll
Island...
look at the...
Outside
I-
Island.
No, they don't look at it. They just
Oh.
keep doing whatever they're doing, but I just go up to him and I just, like, angle it. And I spent, like, 10 minutes taking a selfie with Medley.
We finally
Okay.
got
Trying to get the right angle.
Windfall. That's what it was. Yeah, and
And we, like, did the mini...
he
like,
took a selfie and it made it look like he was making out with Lily. He got it to the right position, so it was like the back of her head and then Link's face, and he like did the face where his eyes are closed, and it straight looked like they were.
I
macking.
regret nothing.
It was so
I'm gonna
good.
find a way to get these pictures onto my phone, and I will
Yeah.
tweet them.
Yeah.
So
Because
good.
they're so good.
I remember when that game came out, That was the meme. Was just him,
Yeah.
his selfies.
Oh, of course. And like I told Alicia, I was like, I'm gonna selfie with all the bosses, and she was like, I don't know because like they'll still attack you. I was like, oh, I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm willing to die many times for a
So
selfie
it
with
doesn't-
every single boss.
It doesn't have to be consensual.
Did you guys ever watch the ones where they do the camera and then they change his face
Yeah.
to make it look like he's singing?
No.
Oh.
Oh, we're gonna.
We're gonna find these videos.
Oh, we'll find those videos afterwards.
I'll-
Anyways,
I'll tweet one, so you guys can go to our podcast Twitter we have now. It's a G Gaming Podcast on Twitter, and I'll tweet some of those videos and stuff, some links.
yeah, and we'll like some videos on Facebook, so you can go to our Facebook and see our liked videos.
Some links.
Cool. What are you guys playing?
Okay.
What are you playing?
Wait,
Okay. Well,
Did you guys hear Alicia's joke?
what did
She
just
said
say?
some links.
Because his name is Link, and that is the game we were talking about. Just kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that Alicia has passed away
Oh.
because I just murdered her.
Because that joke
Ricky.
was so bad.
Rip Alicia.
Bye,
That's why I said it
Alicia.
so quiet. It was for me only. My enjoyment.
There's none of that
Well,
on
now
the podcast.
everyone can feel your horror.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
okay, I'll talk about what I'm playing right now. So, I haven't been playing too many games this week because I'm an animal, but what I have been playing is anytime someone comes over, for some reason, Shelby insists we play a round of Halo. I'm surprised it didn't happen to you guys today, but every time he's just like sat down while talking and just gotten Halo ready. I'm like, come on, we're gonna play Halo now.
There's still time.
True. Before you guys leave, we'll probably play a round of Halo. So we've been using
SWAT.
Ugh.
exactly because SWAT is the best game type.
Truth.
100% fact. No.
Fact checked.
I
Confirmed.
looked it up on
Wik-
the internet.
WikiLeaks confirmed.
But anyway, so every time, so we've been playing the Master Chief Collection. So we've been playing. Sometimes it'll be SWAT on Halo 2, SWAT on Halo 3. It really has always been SWAT, except this week earlier, me and Shelby played Griffball because I don't like playing SWAT
Yes.
with only one other person, and it was a dark time in our relationship.
I pretended to
Oh yeah,
lose.
he
Oh,
kicked my
no.
ass the first time, and so then I was
She was
like,
so
"Let's play
upset.
again." And then I kicked his ass, and then I was like,
No.
"You faked." I was like, "That wasn't real, was it?" I'm like, "You just let me win," and he went,
Aw.
and he literally went, "No." And then I
Ghost.
was like, "I'm about to kill you in real life. I can't believe it. Murder is about to happen." And so then we played again, and it was really evenly matched. And he told me he, played for real, but you never know.
I played for real that last time, and it was evenly matched, but I ended up winning.
It was
anyways.
incredible. Yeah, he got the sword out a lot, which I did not do because the hammer's better.
Pro tip: when you're Griff, look out for swords because the swords will get you easier. But if you're going against a Griff,
Yeah.
use your sword. If you're going against another player, use your hammer.
For those who
I just want to
I'm
call the
sorry.
other character Caboose.
I know.
It's
Like,
true.
Caboose
They're
has,
blue.
yeah.
No, they're blue
Tucker
or
has
red.
the sword.
Oh, that's
Tucker has
true.
the sword.
Yeah.
So Tucker.
It's the sword
So
that
it's Tucker
unlocks your
versus
death.
Griff.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's the key that unlocks you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you were about to talk.
Question.
Yes.
So I remember when I played Halo, there was, I think it was called Firefight, where you would fight just enemies, right? And it was like you and one other person. I don't know.
Okay,
Explain.
so Firefight is the best game mode on Halo Reach.
Oh, good.
So you're talking about Reach,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
I think I couldn't remember what game it was on.
I think it's on Halo 3 too, but I don't know. That's
I
one
just
that
loved
is.
it.
The point is, I played it mostly on Reach, but what it is you go in with a team, and then waves of enemies come in, and
Yeah.
you have to fight them. In Halo 5, there's a game mode just like it called Warzone,
Yes.
and it's 2 players of, I think, 8, and they attack each other, and while they're attacking each other and you're getting points from killing people, enemies will drop down, like, hunters, and it's
That sounds amazing.
and it's a huge map, like,
Chaos.
massive, and it's just chaos the whole time. It's
Oh,
awesome.
yes.
So it's like Firefight meets Slayer. It's really good.
Okay, so real quick, back to Master Chief Collection. What I was going to say is, I just want to preface, if anyone who doesn't know what Griffball is, like if they haven't played that game type, first of all, its origins are literally from Red vs. Blue. And it's from a joke, but the joke is really in-depth, so I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to say you should watch Red vs. Blue. Anyway, but they mentioned Griffball, which wasn't a thing in Halo. Like, it was just a joke in the show. And then was it 343 that did it?
No,
Or
it was
Bungie. Yeah, but they made a game type called Griffball because of the show. And in it, it's just like basketball or something. Like, you get the ball, you run over, and you put it in a circle, like the net, and then you all have gravity hammers or you have energy swords. So you just chase each other around, and it's really fun. But it's not fun when you're playing with Shelby because he's a bad person.
Oh.
Anyway, just kidding. But that's what I played that's what I've been playing.
That is so good.
I love Master Chief Collection. I think it's great that they put all 4 of the best Halo games in one collection. But other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Halo 5. I played a little bit of Halo 5. What I really played was the BioShock remaster. Played through all of it in like 2 weeks, and it put a whole new light on what those games mean and what those games are to me. But other than that, I played Halo 5 and Halo Master Chief Collection, so and Tetris Axis, but we'll talk about that later.
So really quick, I just want to ask you guys. So on like Call of Duty, you can make your own matches, and you can kind of
Custom games.
Yeah. They have the games. That kind of reminded me of the Griff Ball. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm. Griff Ball
reminds me of that, where you could play. What was it like? I don't even remember. Where someone would knife. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Anyway, for Halo, you could kind of do the same thing, and I don't remember which game it is again, but we would turn our shields up to like 300%, turn our gravity up, or whatever made you like float around like crazy. Also turn that all the way up, and then just gravity hammers.
Yeah,
that's all you got. So good.
You're either talking about Halo 3 or Halo 4.
Yeah.
Either or. Perfect way to play that game.
I love doing stuff like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with that. I actually want to talk about why I think Halo 5 is one of the worst games ever.
I really thought you were going to say the greatest game ever made, because always you're like, listen, I played this game, and it's the greatest video game ever. And then like 2 days later, you find a new one, and you're like, no, listen.
Well, yes.
This one's the greatest game.
I have a safe word so that you know if I actually am being serious about it. Like, Persona 4 is one of the greatest games ever made. Banana Vendor. That means I'm serious.
I love this.
I'm sorry, what's your safe word?
Banana Vendor.
Now, is this also true for your relationship?
Yes.
Good. I want to go home now.
You are.
So, for example...
No, we're safe.
No, we're in the studio.
For example, Persona 4 is one of the greatest games ever made, Banana Bender. And then Wii Sports Resort is one of the greatest games ever made.
Ooh,
Banana Bender.
Not Banana Bender.
But I love Wii Sports Resort wasn't very good. Wii Sports was.
Oh my gosh, both of them are great.
I liked the Pugles one where you gotta like hit each other.
That's
Halo 5.
Halo 5. Pugles one?
I'm confused.
Pugles? Do you mean boxing?
No, there was one where you had like sticks and you had to hit each other off.
The sticks with the lightsabers.
Yeah, Pugles.
Oh, they were lightsabers.
Oh.
They were definitely Pugles. They're definitely what you're saying.
No, there's something you play in the army that's literally that, and you use these things that look like giant like ear cleaners, and they call them.
It's basically
sticks.
that. Yeah, it's basically that.
So I'm sorry. I'll leave.
This is why people shouldn't join the army. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Moving forward, Halo 5. I absolutely hate the story. I think it is. I'm unrelenting on it. I love Halos 1 through 3. I like Halo 4 a whole lot, and then...
You love Halo 4. Don't say I like
I do.
Halo
I think
4
Halo 4 might be one of my favorites, but the point I'm trying to make is Halo 5 is awful, and I think the story is bad. I think that the gameplay is weird and not very Halo-y, and I think that it's the worst Halo game. However, I came back to it about 2 weeks ago. The multiplayer for Halo 5 is so much fun, but it's way different from regular Halo. Like, regular Halo is what you were saying, where you play with your friends with zero gravity, with gravity hammers and everything, and it's split screen, so you're all struggling to see what you're doing because everything is small, and it's a little rough. Halo 5, you don't have that. There's no split screen in Halo 5 at all.
So is it just online? Like there's no...
It's just online.
There's no couch
co-op. Which a lot of people are like, that's good, that's the future, because they're right, that is the future. Like, Overwatch doesn't have couch co-op. Forza doesn't have couch co-op. Corp, Titanfall 2. Just a lot of games don't have it anymore.
Yeah, it's fading out.
It's fading out.
Which
sucks.
But
Sucks because it's like,
okay.
I love couch co-op, like the Lego games and stuff.
Yes.
I played Lego Dimensions over the Christmas break. Yes.
Real quick, can we just talk about, have you played, I don't know if it does it in Lego Dimensions, but the like newer Lego games have a split screen that like changes
it does that in
depending
Lego
on where you
Dimensions.
go.
Oh, the one that swivels?
I can't.
Yeah.
It's
you
like
can set it to not do that.
I can?
Yeah, in Lego Dimensions you can.
God. It just is so disorienting to me. Like, if I know I'm on the right screen... Well, first of all, I don't remember them even having split screens.
They didn't.
Which I think worked fine.
Up until Lego Indiana Jones, they did not.
Of course.
Yeah.
Lego Indiana Jones.
Oh,
What's wrong with Lego Indiana Jones?
It just
I
wasn't.
agree.
It was like all Lego games were level 10 or higher,
Mhm.
and Lego Indiana Jones was like maybe a 3.
Oh man,
Not
I love
enough
Lego
water.
Indiana Jones.
Too dry.
We should
It
do a
was
retro review
so
of
dry.
every Lego
Why
game
say
in
moist
order.
enough?
That's what we need to do.
Moist.
Ew.
Anyway,
Our ASMR fans will love when we say moist.
Moving forward,
Halo 5.
Halo 5, I came back to it this week, 2 weeks ago actually, and then this week I've been playing it, and the multiplayer, while not being as Halo-y as Halos 4 and below, it is still such a fun experience. I think that the gameplay is fast, it's fun, it makes so much sense. I just love it. I love it so much, everything about it. But it's not very Halo-y, and like I was saying, the war zone is really fun in Halo 5. So I've changed my opinion about Halo 5 a little bit since I played it about a year ago, it would have been. And I think while the story is still absolutely awful, and while the gameplay isn't as Halo-y as I want it, it's a fun game in its own right. It's a fun game.
Multiplayer.
Yeah, multiplayer is still super fun. In fact, I downloaded it on your Xbox, Summer, so that we could play together later. But our internet's really bad, so I haven't been able to play it in a while, which is why we've gone back to Halo Master Chief Collection whenever someone comes over, because it's a fun game to play custom games on and just play for fun. And it's so easy to go between like Halo 2 and Halo 4, or Halo 2 and Halo 3, or one of my favorites is Halo 1, completely broken.
Yes.
If you get in a
Oh,
tank,
Yes.
you
It's
win.
over. It's over. It's so
over.
good.
It's amazing.
Okay, so you're like, it's so easy to go from one game, from Halo 2 to Halo 4, and back and forth. And then, like, there's me, and we played Halo 4 for a little bit, and then we switched to Halo 2, and I literally couldn't even find where the hill was, and I didn't know how to throw grenades or punch, and you guys were like, no, it's this, it's simple, and it's the same as the other ones. I was like, no, listen, it was so backwards. I was like, no, watch me punch, and I just threw a grenade. I was like,
What?
watch me throw a grenade, and then I just punched, and I was like, help me, so no, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy when you don't customize the controls in between games.
Shelby, we're not all that extra.
Well, I don't do that either.
See,
And this is
I have it set to every game has the same controls.
So, did you guys play Halo 1 Super Broken, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Online? So I had it for the computer, and this is back when this was years ago. And I would play online, and it was Blood Gulch was my favorite, and you would play like Capture the Flag, and I don't know if this is like a universal thing or if I just somehow found this map every single time, but they had numbers written out with medic packs, and if you would go walk on the numbers, you would teleport to on top of like the mountains where you shouldn't be able to get ever. And then
What?
everyone would just like snipe each other from up there, and
What?
it was so fun. And sometimes the numbers you'd walk on there and you would just die, and it just didn't make a lot of sense. But it was probably the most fun that I've ever had playing a Halo game.
So, I was substitute teaching a couple weeks ago, and Shelby came to give a presentation because it was for a game development class. And when he finished the presentation, we just played Halo with all these high school students.
Okay.
And it was the most broken form of Halo 1 I have ever played. Like, at one point, we were just in a parking lot, and there were just normal cars, like trucks, Hummers, Jeeps, all that stuff, and you could just get in it and run each other down, and then, like, you would, like, explode and, like, go outside of the parking lot, and there was, like, this big, like, forest, and it took you, like, forever to walk all the way back into the
Wait,
parking
so
lot.
this was Halo 1.
Yes, it was amazing.
But wait, it was called Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
And
What?
everyone had so much health that it was like I'd shoot them with a sniper 3 times and they wouldn't be dead. And it'd be like, I know this isn't how Halo is.
Yeah, we would double click it and it'd open and it'd be like Star Wars, and we were like, what? And all the students were like, no, don't worry about that. You just click play game and join this one, and then you're good to go. And we were all just like, oh yes,
This is not.
here
what
we
I
are
want.
playing Halo together as a class.
It was weird.
Good. I remember. So some of my favorite memories of playing Halo 1 on the computer is during high school. I took I think it was called TV broadcasting, and it was basically the school news class. But half the time, 90% of us had nothing to do because we just either weren't interested or they didn't have jobs for us. And so almost every day during that class, we would end up just playing Halo 1 on the computer, and we would just play it for the duration of the class. And it was like, I had like one friend in that class, and then there was a bunch of like the jocks, and they always sat in the back row, and me and my friend Caitlin always sat in the row in front of them.
Real quick,
Yes.
I immediately pictured Caitlin.
Good.
I didn't know, but I was like,
It was
it's
her.
probably Caitlin.
It was her, yeah. And so we would play. Caitlin actually usually wouldn't play. It would be on days when she wasn't there that I'd be playing. But I remember, and this isn't going to be some cool story where like all the jocks were like, "Who's kicking our butts?"
I thought it was.
No, it's not. It's where occasionally I would get a kill, sometimes kick butt, mostly not though. But every time without fail, you could change your name like between lives, and every time my name was always Toolbag, just Toolbag, and so all the time they like if they got killed, you just hear the jocks in the back go, "Who's Toolbag?" And I'd be like,
And you're like, it's you.
Me. I have become one of you.
You have been Toolbag the whole time.
This is a mirror. I'm trying to reflect who you truly are.
I'm a mirror of the true self.
It's a
What's
social
inside of you?
commentary. No, but I just thought it was funny to hear people say, "Who's Toolbag?" And that was the only reason. Every time, just Toolbag. Every time.
I'm so glad.
It was
Toolbag.
lots of fun.
Halo
What?
CE. What?
No, it was one of my friends this weekend who's playing. He re-downloaded Draw with Friends, and he's playing with some random
Oh,
woman,
no.
and his name is Frowning Clown 22. And he's playing with this woman who's got like, she's like clearly middle-aged, like her Facebook profile's on there, and she's like leaning against something, and her name's just Annette P. And so we were just talking about Annette all weekend.
Annette drew this, and Annette drew that.
All right.
She guessed overalls, and we drew really, really shitty overalls.
Good.
With that, I think it is time for our break. We are going to come back in about, for you, 1 second. Welcome back to General Gaming Goods. It's been a long time for us. We're really excited. How have you guys been?
They can't talk back to us, Shelby.
Or are you asking us?
Oh no, I was asking them. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
Shelby.
this is so embarrassing.
This is so embarrassing to me. They can't
Turn
talk
up,
back.
Usually you're like,
We're gonna talk about news now. There was some really fun news. To me, it sounds like we just talk about Nintendo news, but that's just
That's
been
what- yeah.
since we started the podcast. That's kind of what's been talked about. But
also, this is only the second, so it's like...
Yeah.
we'll talk about more than Nintendo news, but Nintendo's pretty big right now, so let's talk about Nintendo news. More on the Switch.
First of all, let's say the price.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the price of the Nintendo Switch because we didn't in the last episode. Some people talked to us about that.
No, it was simply a teaser for this
Yes.
episode.
Oh,
See, yes, that was part 1, and now they have to listen to part 2.
Schuylar, you need to send me emails about that.
No.
If that
Communication is key.
okay.
No.
Anyways, the price of the Nintendo Switch is, drumroll please.
No.
Should we not say it? I don't want to
I'm
say
sorry.
it now.
My
Now
bad.
I just want to leave
I
it.
was gonna start. and
Tune
then-
in next
I was
month.
too.
Okay.
It's $300, which I think is perfect.
Yes.
That's the perfect price.
Okay, and we've all discussed
I
what
think that's-
we
yeah, fair.
discussed.
Who is going to buy it this year?
We're all raising our
Me,
hands.
Alicia does.
Yeah.
You can't see us raise our hands.
Now, legitimately,
Skylar
do you
also
guys plan on buying it this year?
I will,
Yes.
oh, this year for sure. I
Yeah.
probably won't get it at launch.
Are you gonna get Legend of Zelda on the Wii U?
Yes.
I'm gonna get Legend of Zelda on everything. My body.
Well, yes, I understand that.
The walls.
Huh.
Speaking of Legend of Zelda, why don't you tell us what the director said about Legend of Zelda recently?
Oh, what he said about Zelda?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's just talk about that for a second.
I can't pronounce his name, so I don't think I'm going to.
It's Anuma. I think I don't actually know. I know it's
I don't-
something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like Aon. If I remember from watching subtitles in Japanese and hearing in Japanese sometimes during the opening theme songs of anime that I watch,
Goodness.
I think it's Aonuma.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be Aonuma-san.
I second that. That's what it
Yes,
is officially
Um,
because
yes.
we decided it.
Yes.
That is
So,
not opinion. anymore.
Aonuma said that Zelda's cute, and like the way he said it, he's like, Zelda is kawaii, so cute, and it's just, I don't know. It was a big thing. Like for a lot of people, it was like, this is big news. I don't know why.
Just the fact that he thought she was cute.
But he said it that way, because then
Uh-huh.
after that, he talks about a little bit about like how cute she is. She's just the cutest thing, and it's just like, thank you.
Well, has he ever
For
talked
addressing-
about any characters in the Legend of Zelda universe like that before?
No.
So it is a big deal.
At least as far as I know.
That means that he literally was like, "This is the cutest."
The dog just tried to kill himself. He's fine.
It's
Yeah,
true.
hold on. Excuse my chair scraping, but Buddy desperately wants to go up the stairs for reasons unknown.
And
now he
then
wants
he
to go
immediately got back
It's
down the
fine.
stairs.
He's trapped on the stairs now. So anyway,
He's gonna bark, I swear.
this
It's
is the
fine.
life you chose.
Anyway, so as far as I know, when I googled the quote,
He probably wants his food and water.
You can't have that.
When I googled the quote, the only thing that came up was the video for this time. So I don't think he's ever talked about Zelda in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I don't know. The internet got pretty excited.
I think it's
That's
it's a
cool.
big deal because like when the only other time that she's been like she's been cute 3 times.
Well, I mean, I feel like she was like really pretty and epic in like
Yes.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
And in like Ocarina of Time 3D.
Mhm.
Ocarina of Time original, she just was polygons,
Yeah.
which are great, but but Skyward Sword, she was a
polygon.
kawaii. Skyward Sword, she was adorable, and this one she's super adorable as well.
I
So-
think this
So-
is
I love Skyward Sword Zelda
I-
so much.
yes.
She has like this special place in my heart.
Is it
I
inside a
love-
chunk of amber?
Yeah, boy.
rough. Rough.
What a mild reaction point.
I honestly think this might be my favorite iteration of Zelda because she's not traditional like
What?
She-
You don't like the animation, like the animated cartoon version?
Excuse me,
No,
princess.
I really feel like in all the other games she's been like your traditional either cute.
Cute.
I think, well, until now, I feel like Skyward Sword Zelda. I mean, I've seen like pictures just of all the different Zeldas. I feel like one of the most different she's ever been was Skyward Sword.
Yes.
Like
She was also really cute in A Link Between Worlds. I left that out.
Yeah.
She was
I
adorable.
haven't-
Wind
That whole
Waker.
animation is like chibi.
Oh,
Oh,
she's
Wind
Wind
Waker.
Waker.
But-
That's what I was gonna say is the other one where
Yeah.
she's so cute.
But I
in
feel like
Waker.
this is definitely one of her most unique, different designs.
Well, and
like
what-
she's not out there looking, but she just looks different than any other Zelda has
Yeah.
looked to me, in my opinion.
I think she looks.
like there's been at least 2 that look similar until now, or not always, but
I
like
think she looks like Skyward Sword Zelda.
she facially.
Yeah.
But the hair, for some reason, the hair changes everything to me. Her cute little braid here, just the fact that it's all out and long and
Yeah, she's much more
beautiful.
cash.
Yeah,
The thing for me is like every single time I've seen her in any of the games, she's been very traditionally cute or pretty. But in this version, it feels like they almost made her look beautiful in a very natural,
yeah.
like
no
Girl Next
makeup,
Door.
like girl
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
door kind of way.
She looks like a Disney princess.
Yes, and I think it's
Yeah.
much better.
She's
than
not
it's,
like
than
this
it's been.
unapproachable pretty. Like in Twilight Princess, and she's looked like Twilight Princess Zelda a couple times, like iterations of that. And in that one, she looks way more intense and just like she looks like royalty. But in Skyward Sword and now in this, she looks way more approachable. Is what I want to say.
Also, she's totally not wearing a dress. Like
Yes.
she
Yeah.
is in some of the scenes, but like
She's
her
wearing
main
pants.
outfit, it looks like she's definitely wearing pants.
Yeah.
And I don't think. I mean, other than Chic,
Mm-hmm.
we've never seen Zelda in pants.
It's the
which I'm
most.
excited
It's
for.
the most unique.
I'm really hoping that in the next Super Smash Brothers we get this Zelda, or at least
Oh.
a spin. For
That'd be
it.
so cool.
I don't know if we're gonna
Since
get an next
Skyward
Super Smash
Sword
Brothers.
got screwed over in the last Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
You don't think there's gonna be another Super Smash Bros?
There
Ever again?
there
ever?
will be another Super Smash Bros.
But not for the Switch.
No,
way.
it's gonna be for the Switch, and
Okay.
and I guarantee you it's gonna be a lot of fun. But the problem is the guy who directed the last 3 Super Smash Bros. He worked so hard on it.
Isn't there only 3?
Yes.
Okay.
So the
well,
guy who
there- yeah.
directed
So the
it-
guy who
There's 4.
directed
There's
there's 4.
4.
Yeah, there's Super Smash Bros, Super Smash Bros Melee, Super Smash Bros Brawl, and then Super Smash Bros
Oh,
for
okay.
Wii U and 3DS.
Gotcha.
It's the same guy, Sakurai, who worked on all of them, and he worked really hard to make it so balanced, and he chose characters very specifically, and like did all these things to make the game the special game it is
Mhm.
in all of our hearts, and the most unique fighter out there, I think. Maybe
I
maybe
agree.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
No.
Shut your mouth.
No, I love Super Smash Bros. Just gameplay, character choice, art design, everything about it is so good and true to those characters. But he has said he is never working on another one again,
That is so sad.
which means
So
someone
we'll
else
get,
is
like
going
a
to take
new
it.
type of. Okay.
I wonder why.
Probably because it took over his whole life.
I'm sorry. I bet he just feels like done. He's
I hope-
like, that's enough,
Retiring.
I hope they can all hear the dog vomiting.
buddy.
It's okay.
Not cool.
Boy.
Could you throw up somewhere else?
You were
please,
so
sweetie?
good for the first
Throw
half,
up
bud.
quieter.
Anyway, so what were we talking about?
Smash Bros. Anyways, moving forward, we were talking about Legend of Zelda. Let's talk about the Switch and like games on the Switch versus on the Wii U. We had some great games on the Wii U.
Well,
Like
so the main reason this is coming up is there was an interview by Forbes, and they interviewed Reggie Fils-Aimé, who is in charge of Nintendo America, and they talked about whether or not he thought that the Switch would fail in the same way that the Wii U failed. And so they went back and forth and talked about that. Reggie Fils-Aimé said, Nintendo Switch is a home console you can play anywhere with anyone. Clear, compelling. We see the reaction by consumers, whether it's measured in Twitter trending topics or views of videos on YouTube, or just the frequency with which I get called by old high school buddies that I haven't heard from in 30 years, who are asking me how to get their hands on Nintendo Switch. We have communicated the proposition clearly, and it is compelling. Wii U will go down as having fantastic content. The issue was, as you look at the reality of exactly when the games were launched, there were large gaps in between.
Yeah.
And while I agree with that, I think the main problem with the Wii U was the lack of marketing. I
Yeah.
remember not knowing that the Wii U had come out. I remember hearing about it a long time ago, seeing that tiny little Zelda teaser they had that never existed. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they teased that little thing, and it was like, look at the cool features, it's HD or whatever, and then a year, maybe a little over a year went by, and then all of a sudden I went into a GameStop and it existed, and I was like, I don't remember hearing anything about this ever.
It's super hard for me because I have, the Wii U holds a special place in my heart, but at the same time, one of the things that game developers say is like, it's not hardware that makes a game console, it's software, which is where you see certain game consoles fail. Let's go back all the way back to the Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy had a total of 16 games released on it in its entire life cycle. Bombed, failed, almost put Nintendo out of business. Then you have another game console that's more recent that failed, the Vita, which one of my favorite game consoles ever, but I think there's no like killer app. There's like a handful of really fun games that you can play. I would say there's one killer app, but one killer app does not make a console good.
Yeah.
But then you look at the opposite end that came out almost the same year for a ridiculous price still. Like the Vita came out for, I think, $300. The 3DS came out for $270 or $300, I think, actually. It might have been $250.
The new 3DS?
The original 3DS.
Oh, okay.
It came out overpriced, and look at how the 3DS did. It didn't fail. It's the best-selling handheld ever. It's so good.
There's so much content for it.
Yeah, but you go back and look at it, no matter what you can say, you know that what makes or breaks a game console is the content on it. So we didn't see a Legend of Zelda. We didn't see a Metroid. We didn't see a proper Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Sunshine. We saw little 4-player cooperative multiplayer games. The only killer app we saw on it was Pikmin 3, which has a pretty tight niche fan base, and then Super Smash Bros. Splatoon helped a lot, and Splatoon was way later in the life cycle, which is why Splatoon 2 is not launching with the Wii U, but it's coming out this year for the Nintendo Switch.
So the article is written by Ollie Barter, and he goes on to talk about how while the marketing is better, a lot of people are still very nervous about the Switch because of the way the Wii U went, and its physical appearance and the seeming similarities doesn't give them anybody much hope. But he goes on to say that what he thinks the Switch is going to need is a constant flow of new games coming out.
Yeah.
So after release, we're going to get at release we're getting Zelda. What other launch titles?
It doesn't matter. Zelda will sell.
Zelda will sell,
Yeah.
yes, for sure. But then after Zelda, they've got to get some Marios out there. They've got to get Mario, like some Mario Kart.
Odyssey.
Yeah, and they've got the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I wish they would do a new one.
Yeah.
But also acceptable.
I'm excited for the
I would
Splatoon
love
girls.
to see a Metroid title. Shelby would lose his mind. And
I would
hopefully,
die.
based on their trailers, they would show. They showed in the trailer Skyrim, so hopefully that means there's some third-party support, which will really boost the sales.
Well, what you didn't see during the Switch conference, they actually had, why can't I remember his name right now?
Todd Howard,
which that's Bethesda, man. That's the guy who runs Bethesda, and he came and had a special, like a few minutes to talk about how they're really excited to work with them and stuff like that.
For those of you who don't know, Bethesda are the people who make Skyrim, Fallout, Dishonored,
The New Prey,
Quake, Doom.
So a pretty big third party
Wolfenstein.
to have on board with the Switch.
Yeah.
It sounds like that means we're going to get a lot of big, desired games on the Switch. And I think it could become, because one thing I think Nintendo, one of their main selling points, other than handhelds, is their appeal to families and children.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to have one console where I can play family games and games with kids and play my games that are more geared towards the adult audience, such as Skyrim
Sorry
and things
about that
like
loud noise.
that's the bunny. Anyway, so to be able to play all of that kind of stuff that I want on one console, I think is a huge selling point. honestly, I think Zelda's a big enough selling point to
Yeah.
sell that console to everyone in existence.
Well, the combination to me of Zelda and Mario, that is what keeps
Mhm.
Nintendo alive.
Yep.
It is. They could announce a Metroid, and I would be excited, but I'd be the only one.
No.
I think it would bring people. I think people would buy it not knowing fully like what it is and things, and it would revive it.
And I think, and even then, it might even bring back old Nintendo fans who have kind of
Mhm.
stopped caring about Nintendo. Because a lot of the people I meet who really love Metroid are like me and Shelby's age. They're like in their 20s or like late teens because that's who played it because it
Mhm.
stopped.
I
But-
think that you need to look at the launch titles, like looking at the launch titles for the Wii U versus the Wii, and then versus the Switch. So you've got the Wii, which came out with Wii Sports, and it showed off a whole new way of playing games. And I'll joke about Wii Sports Resort being the best game ever, but I love Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. I
Wii
think
Sports was really good, and then there was the Wii Sports, the orange one, where it just gave you a whole bunch more
Wii
games.
Play.
Yeah, Wii
Yeah.
Play, which was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I love those games. I think they are family games. They're games you could play for a long time. But then you look at the Nintendo, the Wii U, and you've got games like Zombie U and Super Mario Brothers U, which was just
Zombie U.
you've got Batman Arkham City, which was a great third-party game, but it had already come out a year before.
Mhm.
Same with Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
Same with Darksiders 2.
Yeah, it looks
Same
like
with Call of Duty Black
it's
Ops 2.
recycled. stuff.
Darksiders came out.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know
Yeah, I
that.
didn't know that either. till I
But then
looked
you've
in.
got, and then after those third-party games, you've got Rayman Raving Rabbids Land, Scribblenauts Unlimited, which works better on a 3DS. Rayman Legends, great game, came out a year before. Just Dance 4 it's Just Dance, so need I say
Yeah.
more? And then you've just got Ninja Gaiden 3, which didn't do very well. Epic Mickey 2 didn't do very well. These are all launch games. Mass Effect 3 came out 2 years before.
Jeez.
Sonic
Yeah.
and Sega
So
All
it was
Stars
just
Racing
a really,
Transformed.
really bad launch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it didn't launch anything.
They didn't have any new IPs,
Yeah.
at least not really, and then they had a bunch of recycled games.
But then you
and
look at
IP is
a new original game.
yeah, a new IP. So when we talk about
I know what you'd.
games that have are in a series like Mario, Legend of Zelda, those are existing IPs. I'm not sure what IP stands for. Somebody should look that up.
That's why
But
when you
then-
said, I knew what an IP was, but as soon as you said it, I was like, what if I don't know what an IP is?
But
Don't
then
call me out like this.
Yeah.
when you say something like a new IP, it's going to be from a first-party developer or even a third-party developer, but it's a new game in a series that they want to produce. So when Watch Dogs came out, it was Ubisoft's new IP. When Splatoon came
Splatoon.
out, it was Nintendo's new IP.
But they also had Nintendo Lands.
True. We actually really
Nintendo
liked
Land.
it.
Yeah,
I
Nintendo
like
Land's-
Nintendo
I
Land
love
a lot.
Nintendo Land.
it's not something that is a launch title. It's not something that will bring
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's just a lot of recycled.
Think about
games.
the Wii
Yeah.
launch title, like the main launch title for the Wii, the best-selling console ever made, Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess.
Yup.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
I love Twilight.
knowing
Me too.
that,
Good.
So IP stands for intellectual property to refer to
Ah,
game franchises or just individual games,
cool.
which I'm not really sure why they use intellectual property, but
Yeah.
it's definitely from an article by BuzzFeed that's called Let's Stop Calling Games IP.
mhm,
Ah,
That's hilarious. Well, BuzzFeed, it's not up to you. Shut your mouth.
you don't get to
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid BuzzFeed. Just kidding. This
Well,
is
I
just
love
an opinion. I know. Well, okay, I have a love-hate relationship with
Oh,
BuzzFeed,
guys,
so this is not relevant.
Trauma Center Second Opinion was a launch title
Trauma
for the Wii. I
Center.
love Trauma
You love
Center.
Trump. Okay,
We'll
so
talk about
but
that
then
later.
so I mean you compare those and now we've got for the Switch we've got a Zelda title, we've got a Mario title. Well, actually Mario's not a launch title.
It's
is
not.
it?
It comes out
No.
later, and they're going to
Yeah.
talk more about
But
it.
I think
at
that I
E3.
think they did that a little on purpose to
Oh, yeah.
help
Yeah.
When
What-
is
continue
E3?
sales.
E3 is going to be June, or I knew the date of it. Let me look it up really
Yeah.
quick.
But,
E3.
Well, you looked that up. I was
2017.
going to say, it doesn't, even though not all of these games that we're talking about are going to be launch titles, the fact that they were announced or like just like they talked about them again during the Switch thing makes you hyped for them. So you'll be like, I need to get the Switch so I can get that game when it comes out. The fact that Wii U came out with little zero information, zero things coming with it, or even in the near future, I think that's what killed it. But the fact, even though Mario Odyssey isn't out yet, people are like, okay, I need to get my Switch now because I know Mario Odyssey is coming out and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
And when Mario Odyssey does come out, it's going to be good. And we're going to get a lot more info there. And I think at E3, they're going to announce more.
Exactly.
Do we have any information on Mario?
Have you seen the trailer?
I have not.
We'll show you a trailer.
Yeah, we got to show.
Okay.
We'll show you the trailer later. It's really good.
What
What's-
is what makes it new?
Well, the hat has eyes now, and that's really
It's a little
important.
more than that. What's your favorite
Just
Mario game? You've played Mario before?
Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like they
for
said
sure.
it's based on like Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 64, where you go into these big open worlds
Wonderful.
that you get to
Yeah.
like there are different ways to get
Yeah.
stars and stuff,
Good.
and that's kind of what it is. And one of the open worlds is literally New Donk City, which is New York City with real people in
Dude.
it, and it's like.
It's called New Donk City.
Yeah.
By the way, before
Original.
we forget, the next this year's 2017's E3 dates are June 13th to June 15th. We will be
And-
giving all the info on those when those come out.
And E3 is basically a huge gaming conference where everybody comes and is like, hey, these are the games we're working on, this is the consoles we're working on,
Mhm.
here's all the information that you're going
So
to want.
what does E3 stand for again? What
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Yeah.
Perfect. And now I know, Shelby, you're dying over there. You want to talk about Fire Emblem. So
I
so
really,
please
Me
really
also.
do.
go. Summer and
So,
Shelby.
Fire Emblem is actually, you know what? Before we do this, hey, Alicia,
Oh, no.
someone who's never played
Oh, yeah.
Fire Emblem in their lives,
And has no idea what it's about.
the only thing they know is from Smash Brothers. Tell us, what is Fire Emblem?
That's the only thing I know.
I want you to tell me a story. Ready, go.
This is not helping.
Like,
I
what's the
don't
story
know.
of Fire
I
Emblem?
don't
Go.
know.
From
What
what
do
you know, ready,
yeah,
go.
what do you
I don't
think
know
the-
anything.
Wait, what do you think the objective is?
From what you showed me, I guess there's like something like different weapons, and they come together and they make a shield.
Good, keep
I
going.
think, and there's some characters from Smash Bros that are also in this game.
So the characters are Roy,
Okay.
Ike,
Yep.
Marth, and Lucina.
So they're all OP.
and Robin.
I
And
hate
Karin
them.
now.
Yeah, but I don't think she has corn.
Yeah.
DLC.
That's,
But yeah, so all those characters, do they all go on an adventure together? Like, do you think you switch between them, or
um,
like you choose one?
I
Now tell me like you know.
I don't know.
No, tell me
Okay,
like you
okay.
know.
So, explain the characters again one more time.
So you have
Who
Ike,
do we have? Okay, you're Ike.
Marth.
Yep.
Lucina
Right.
and Roy.
Ooh, you're Roy.
So you play as Roy, and
Play
you
as
go on
Roy.
an adventure with the rest of these characters.
Yeah.
And your goal is to
Do you
collect
feel?
these
Wait,
weapons.
she needs to feel if that's true.
Is
Is
that
that
true?
true, Alicia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you sure
I mean-
one of them isn't the bad guy?
Oh, we're getting there.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
She's
Okay,
gonna play
so,
now.
So they have to go on an adventure to find all of the fire emblems.
Are those the weapons?
Yes.
Yep.
And once they get all the weapons and they can build the fire
Wait.
emblem,
Is
it's
the
a
emblem
shield.
the shield? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. But then, is there a surprise twist where one of them ends up being a villain?
It is Marth.
Marth.
Martha's the
It's Marth is the villain, and yeah. So you don't find that out till the very end. And
I would have never
There's
called that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
There's a cliffhanger at the end of this game, I think.
So there's only one in the series, and the next one is coming out on the Switch. It's the
Wait.
trailer I showed you.
This is Fire Emblem 3, so there's probably 2.
All right, we're gonna actually explain
Please
Fire Emblem.
explain.
That was amazing.
We're gonna explain Fire Emblem. So
That
Fire
is so-
Emblem is a strategy RPG game that's a lot like
Tell me how wrong
chess.
I am.
You're very wrong.
Good.
There's about 11 in the
Kind of a
series,
lot.
but only about like 6 of them came
Wait,
out here in the US.
I thought there was more than 11. Yeah,
There
I'll
might
look
be more.
into
Look
while
into
you
it.
talk.
There's not a lot of them. There's more than
So
one.
most of them
There's
stayed
more
in
than
Japan.
3, but most of them came out in Japan. So the game is a strategy RPG. It's a lot like chess. You looking top down, and all the characters are kind of on this grid, and each character has their own way that they move. Marth was in the first game, and he was a Japan-only character. Same with Roy, and Roy I think was in the 3rd or the 4th. I'm not sure on that. Summer's gonna Summer's gonna fact check that. The point is, they came out for Super Smash Bros. Melee as characters in Japan, and then they brought them to America, but they still spoke Japanese, and because they were only in those, there.
Marth and Roy were for sure on Melee here
Yeah.
in America.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. They
Oh,
took it here, but
okay.
they still spoke Japanese, and everybody
Right.
was like, "Who are these amazing characters that are quote OP? I love them." And so they were like, "Oh, people in America are interested in games that
Emblem?
only come out in Japan."
Fact
Yes.
check.
Okay, just so you know, there are 15 games in the Fire Emblem
Holy,
series. It
that's
doesn't
close.
say here how many came out in
I'm
America, though.
so wrong.
But
No, I
Wow.
think it's Fire
There's-
Emblem 3.
No, you
Wow.
were wrong. You said there's got to be at least 2. or something.
You're not wrong.
Or at least 3.
Good.
Anyway,
so
I'm
that's when they
embarrassed.
started coming out in America, and I can't remember with which one it started, but the point is, this Wednesday they showed off their next like Fire Emblem setup. So they talked about the game that I showed you, Fire Emblem Warriors, that's coming out for the Nintendo
Mhm.
Switch. They talked about the next big Fire Emblem release game in the mainline series, quote unquote. Then they talked about a remake of Fire Emblem 2. They're calling it Fire Emblem Echoes.
Sorry, just a fact check. Roy was in Binding Blade and the Blazing Blade, and then he's in the Awakening DLC.
All right. So then they talked about they're remaking Fire Emblem 2 for the 3DS as a downloadable title. It's called Fire Emblem Echoes Twists of Time or something like that or something. Will you look that up? I should have.
Real quick. Binding Blade, the first game Roy was in, is the number six in the Fire Emblem series.
Nice.
Sixth.
What's the new thing I'm fact checking?
The new thing you got fact check is what the new
Fire Emblem Echoes.
Fire Emblem Echoes. You should just be able to look it up. Fire Emblem Echoes.
Anyway, you keep talking. I'm doing this.
So
Shadows of Valentia.
Shadows of Valentia. We're very, very excited for that. But the one that I'm really, really excited for, Fire Emblem Warriors, first of all, because we're going to get all of these characters from all these different games. And in all the different games, all those different characters come from. So Marth was in the first game. Roy was in the sixth. They never meet. Then you have Fire Emblem Awakening, which was 2 games ago. It came out in 2012. Yeah, no, it came out in 2012. And it had Lucina and Chrom in it. And Robin, and those were all very exciting characters. Then you have characters like Ike, which came out for the Wii. The game was called Radiant Dawn, and then for the GameCube, it was Radiant. Man, I don't know enough about this.
Radiant Steel.
Radiant Steel. But the point is, they all come from different games. So they announced Fire Emblem Warriors, and it's basically, if it's anything like Legend of Zelda Warriors, it's going to be Hyrule Warriors. It's going to be a crossover between all of these different worlds and characters.
That would be cool. Will you explain the Warriors series a little bit? Like, what is special about Warriors games?
Yes, Schuylar,
I can. So, Warriors is what they did with Hyrule Warriors is actually based on oh crud, I can't think of the name. It's like Dynasty Warriors. That's what it is. It's based on Dynasty Warriors, which is a game that came out. It's popular. They have several different ones for the Xbox. And what they did is it's basically a huge hack and slash where you play as a character, and there's a couple different ones, and it's its own thing. But they took the exact same concept and they applied it to Zelda, creating this whole new game that is not part of the Zelda storyline, but brings all of your favorite characters together. And it's incredibly satisfying. You get to play as Zelda, you get to play as Sheik, you get to play as Impa, you get to play as Ruto, you get to play as anybody you want, even the bug collector girl from Twilight Princess.
And like Midna is there too.
Yeah, Midna, and like literally like you just like hit a button and you kill like 20 like bad guys. Like it's so satisfying.
Just
so
don't hit a chicken.
Yeah, don't hit a chicken ever because it's Zelda. You know that. So the new Fire Emblem should be similar to that. If it sounds like
it's made by the same team who did Hyrule Warriors, which leads me to believe that they will probably do that. And they showed some gameplay of it. It looks so satisfying, and I mean, there's footage of Chrom just absolutely annihilating what feels like 300 enemies.
Yeah, they freeze in the air and he just hacks them apart.
Oh, it's so good. But the other game that I'm really excited for, so we're really excited for that. We don't know when that's going to come out. They talked about the next mainline Fire Emblem game. It's going to come out on the Nintendo Switch, which is interesting because the other ones have come out on the 3DS. Now, there were a couple that came out on there was ones that came out on the GameCube and the Wii, which leads me to believe they're going to do a similar thing. However, the Nintendo Switch is a portable system. That's one of its main deals, is that it's portable, so it will be very similar, but it's going to look so much better.
Yeah.
Now, the main reason I want to talk about this, one of the biggest deals, is a game called Fire Emblem Heroes was announced. And it's been talked about before that I think it's even been talked about that it's called Fire Emblem Heroes. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, sick, but it's called Fire Emblem Heroes. It's coming out on Android and iPhone.
Oh.
And it comes out February 2nd.
That's soon.
I'm so excited for Android only.
Have they announced when it's coming
No,
out
they have not talked about when it's going to come out.
Finally, Android gets something.
Yes.
Yeah, but why do that ever? Why not just release for both?
Because it drives the demand higher.
People insane.
Because now Android's gonna have Fire Emblem Heroes and iPhone has Mario Run, and so then it's going to drive both of those downloads up and or drive people to purchase other things, and then they'll release it the other way around.
I hate marketing.
Now, I'm super excited. As an Android user, I'm very excited for this because the trailer looked so good. It has a whole new storyline. I'm pretty sure you're going to have to purchase it. I'm pretty sure there's also in-app purchases, but the main thing is it is also a big crossover between all the games because you play as this character named a Summoner, and he has these guns that summon portals where the other characters from the Fire Emblem universe can come out of. And so Chrom is in there, Marth is in there, Lucina is in there. It looks so satisfying to just use these characters in combat and have them be able to play as them and level them up and they have different rarities up to 5 stars. And I'm so excited because I love the game already, but I don't have enough time to play it. But I can so easily just pick up my phone and play a quick round.
What I wonder is, so Mario Run, is it $10 or $5 to unlock?
I think it's $11, $11.99.
Okay, so
Mario Run is?
yeah, you can play the first like 2 or 3 levels,
For free.
and then you have to.
$11 for
yeah.
an app.
Strange.
But like you
Right.
look at the
Apparently-
big games on phone like Final Fantasy 3, which was
Yeah.
$16.
I didn't know.
And
they released
apparently
that
it's
for
so
phone.
fun. Like I tried playing it, but I was so bad that I quit immediately because I'm an animal. But so I wonder though.
I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah, I wonder though if that. I wonder how much this game will be.
I
Have
think
they talked about it at
no,
all?
I at least not from my knowledge, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be $11.
Yeah.
And I think that is a full game,
Yeah.
and it is going to have a full story, and there's going to be like fun strategic levels that you got to do, and totally fair to ask for $11 for a new Fire Emblem with a brand new story with all these characters.
Yeah.
I'm totally down.
I
for
agree
that.
for the Fire Emblem. $11 is reasonable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay $11 for
Never,
Mario Run.
never.
I
But
would pay like 2 or 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would.
$11.
Yeah.
Oh, so-
it's a full game. It's a full
Yeah,
game with
Kirby
like a
says
whole
it's
big story.
awesome.
Yeah, Kirby bought it because he was like I'm never buying an app, and then he loved it so much he was like I bought it.
Kirby is Shelby's little brother.
That is true.
Kirby is the main character from the Kirby series.
I still have a very important question.
Yes.
So was Marth not the bad guy?
Marth is never the bad guy. Marth is
He's
the
the
hero
of all heroes.
of all heroes.
Oh,
He's like in the
okay.
first game, he like is the hero and he slays the dragon and like wins, and he has the Falcon originally. Blah blah blah.
The Falcon is the cool sword that
Except
is
the
known
Falcon-
from that game.
Yeah.
The Falcon,
Was I right about anything?
No, not even a little bit.
No, none of
They
them.
nev-
are-
none of
Fire
them know
Emblem
each
has
other.
something to do with a shield, though, right?
That's true.
Yeah, that
The
part's
Fire
right.
Emblem is a shield with a
But
bunch
you
of
don't
little
combine weapons.
balls in it.
Yeah, it's got gems. basically.
Participation award to me.
Good job.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Proud of
No
you.
way.
But also
The
one
only
more-
thing is,
No.
sorry, I'm going to cut you off. The only thing that you have to be aware of is if you love Fire Emblem, whatever character you want in there, you have to go and onto their website and vote for the character that you want.
Okay, I was just gonna ask, are the release dates for any games other than Heroes?
No.
Like Echoes of Warriors.
Just
Oh,
years.
no, yeah, the Fire Emblem Echoes has a release date, but I don't know it.
It just has a year. Right
Oh,
now.
it has a
Okay.
year right now.
Yeah, so
Does it have a quarter?
Fire Emblem Heroes is 2017. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia is 2017, and the potential Fire Emblem for Nintendo working title is 2018.
All right, good to know. All right.
So Shelby,
Yes.
tell us about Tetris.
So I've been playing Tetris Axis for the 3DS. It is the 3DS version of Tetris. It came out when the 3DS came out. It was the second game I purchased after Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. I played Tetris Axis more than Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time
That's
3D.
A crime.
That doesn't surprise me though, because Shelby loves Tetris the way
Yeah.
we love Zelda.
I do.
love Tetris too, though. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, I
it's-
understand.
Yeah, it's a little rough. And the thing about this game is it's not just like play Tetris, here's one mode of Tetris. Sorry. Oh, it's getting rough now that we've been talking for an hour. Tetris is good because you can sit down and just play marathon mode, which goes from level 1 to 15, and then you have the choice to continue onward and get more points and rack up points. But there are also other modes, like the augmented reality mode, which
God,
you
what?
put down the AR card, and then you hold your
What's an
3DS
AR
to it.
card?
The AR cards came with the 3DS. If you put them down, it brings out images and 3D things that
In,
you
like,
can
the
see
real
in the real
world.
world.
So basically, it uses the 3DS camera to make it feel like there's a hologram in real life.
Yes.
What
But it's
the
only displayed
heck?
on the 3DS.
It's really cool.
Ah.
You remember from we did it with the
It's kind of like Pokemon Go, but you needed a card to
Yeah.
make the Pokemon.
game that we
The
love.
default.
What?
Bravely
Bravely
Default.
Bravely
Default.
Default. Yep, that's exactly what it's like. So,
Yeah, okay.
You guys
I
can
know.
Google that.
I'm hipping with it.
but there's a mode where you can do that, and it like comes up with this tube, and the Tetris pieces fall around the tube, and you have to do it.
That sounds awesome.
It's really cool. There's another one where this little tiny dude is climbing a tower, and you have to lay the pieces down so that he can climb
I've
up them.
seen you play
How much
this.
is this?
I'm sure it's like $15 now. It is
I
a
want
time
this.
killer. I love that game.
That sounds like perfect for drill.
Yeah, no, it literally it's like this puzzle game, and you can either play like original Tetris or you can play all these other ones. There's one called Fever Mode, and it's the most stressful, like
Oh no.
intense
you-
thing. So instead of having your full like board, it's like this
Do
wide.
you get a fever?
And it's
Yes.
fast.
And
right?
it's so fast,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
is fine with me. But also, you only have like 30 seconds, and the only way to get time is like placing these special blocks,
Oh.
and so you have to get like above 1,000,000
Oh
points to
my.
like do really, really well.
So what is your final rating?
My final rating of Tetris Axis would have to be a 7 out of 10 because it's a little distracting. there's only one screen you use, but the bottom screen has your little me and he's dancing, and it's like I don't need this right now. I don't need this when I'm
I need to
stressing already. I need to focus.
And
then the 3D also isn't very good or
the
useful.
water.
There's no water, which
Oh.
means
So 7 out of 10, no
No
water.
Too dry.
too dry.
Also, real quick, the game is $10.
Perfect.
There you go.
Good
So-
retro
Download it
review.
on the Nintendo eShop for your 3DS
Yep.
and a new Nintendo 3DS.
Be aware, you need to use chapstick and moisturizer just because of the dryness.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of General Gaming Goods. I have been Shelby Saxton. You can find me on Instagram at TheRealShelbySaxton117. Actually, at TheRealShelbySaxton. And you can find us on YouTube at General Gaming Goods or on Twitter, G Gaming.
It's our Twitter is G Gaming Goods.
G
No,
Gaming Goods.
No, I lied. It's G Gaming Podcast. So
G Gaming Podcast.
at G Gaming Podcast.
If you want to message us, go ahead. Summer.
Okay, I've been Summer Castleman. Okay, you can actually find me at several places now. Okay, so there's my art Instagram and my art Tumblr, and that is Some Art Blog, which is SUMMARTBLOG. Some Art Blog. And then also, that's the only place I want you to find me. I
Okay.
I'm Alicia. You can find me on Twitter at Alicia_Joe_. My name is spelled ALECIA. Yeah, just Twitter for now. But tune in next time, and maybe Instagram will be next.
Let's see how she's feeling.
She's keeping us on the hook. And I'm Schuylar. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr at @AverageNarwhal.
GG!
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 We remember,
Everybody,
GG!
good.